Hey YouTube, this is Nashtaters. Welcome back to another episode of War of Divisions. So today's episode I would like to summon for the Black Rose card. As you can see, I'm on my free-to-play account, and there's going to be also a few announcements I really want to make regarding the future of this channel. So let's go ahead and get into it. So some changes I really would like to make. First and foremost, I'm going to be picking up more shift working with my job. So therefore, I'll most likely be working on weekends. So there's a huge possibility I may not be able to release videos on Saturdays in addition to my one day off Sundays. So if you do not see a video on Saturdays, sometime in the near future or perhaps every Saturday, do not be afraid. It's not because I'm quitting the channel. It's because, well, I have to kind of attend to other matters in my life. Also, I will not be really playing this account as much as before, at least not featuring content on the channel. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just kind of play it on the side in a very leisure level. I will not really be climbing a tower on this account. I don't think I really want to do a lot of the encounters on the account. There's a couple of reasons why for this. One, I think enough player base are playing this game long enough. And I think as a free-to-play player out there, you obviously probably are at the point that you can conquer a majority of the content without having someone show you what you need to do on your free-to-play account. Two, I think this account, I kind of experimented so much, the direction where it was actually going is kind of muddled. So I think what I'm ultimately going to do is I'm going to just keep logging in and maybe get a few things here and there and maybe feature this account maybe during summons, and eventually perhaps give this account away sometimes in the near future. And I know there's a lot of good units on this account, a lot of good vision cards, and I'm going to keep working at it, so whoever does end up getting this account in the near future at least will have a very solid account as perhaps their main even. But also, I really wanted to summon for the Black Rose card on this account because, well, I realized I don't have any maximized agility cards. I didn't get the Scion card from the Final Fantasy Tactics banner, and I also did not get the Chocobo card. So I feel like this card, even though it's more catered towards casters, I'm still okay with getting this card to be my plus 15% agility card because I do enjoy supporting units, and ultimately speaking, no matter what encounters I'll be doing, I will have at least one supporting unit that can actually utilize the card to its full potential. So let's go ahead and get it rolling here. It's going to be pretty plain and simple. We're just going to go for the 5-stepper. And one thing I noticed that there's no limit, and I don't understand why anybody would want to spend 10 grand to keep summoning for 50 shards, because is it what, 50 shards multiplied by, I think it's 50 gems per shard. So that's only like that's only like 2,500. And so to me that seems a bit off, right? I don't understand why this would be no limit. Maybe people who don't really want to bother with triggering whimsy shops perhaps? Well, either way, it doesn't really make any difference. Let's just go ahead and get it rolling. You have 26,000. So in the near future, there is actually no units that I'm looking forward to on this account at all. And okay, we got pretty lucky. We actually got really lucky. I usually turn off the animation on the first one because of poor luck. But that one, I got really good luck. So let's go ahead and turn on animation and watch. As soon as I turn on the animation, perhaps the luck will start fading, but it doesn't really matter. We're aiming for 5 steps here. So I actually tried to climb the tower on my main account, and boy, it is pretty challenging. Wait, am I gonna just get the Black Rose here? Anyways, the tower is quite challenging for those of you who are probably climbing it. It's taking like almost half a day for me yesterday to get to where I am today, and I think I'm on floor 37, and it's very, very challenging. I probably have to reset. I was thinking it wouldn't be too challenging, just kind of blast through it, but it's taking quite amount of effort. And I mean, to be fair, I don't have a lot of good units on my main account, besides just the limited ones, and even though they're good, a lot of them share the same attack type. A lot of them are slash attacks, a lot of them are tanks. and I'm noticing that I'm lacking severely in fire. Like seriously, I have Luartha, but unfortunately I didn't get her during the time of her release, so I wasn't able to get a lot of the shards. Okay, here we go. Is this just gonna be Black Rose? I realize I don't have Finir on this account either, so I will take Finir, but I already built a Tomberry. Well, I didn't build him, but I have a lot of the shards for Tomberry because I spent a lot of gems to buy the shards. So as soon as I get Tomberry, I'm just gonna go ahead and build that card if this is not Finir. And it's the Black Rose, ladies and gentlemen. So there's absolutely no reason to keep summoning. Right, let's calculate the numbers here. Is 1250 divided by 25, right? So 25 times. Yeah, so it'll be 50 shards per shard. So let's go ahead and just click on this so you don't have to keep seeing the flickering effect. So let's do some simple calculations. I'm on step 3, guaranteed 25 shards. But that essentially means 1,250 will be spent to buy those, right? So another 750, essentially I'm gambling to see if I can get something else. Plus I get the 100 medals, right? 100 medals will buy me, I believe. Let's just go ahead and check how many. Let's just do the math here, since essentially the summon session is most likely finished here. Okay, so it's 20, so that's 5 shards. So 5 times 50 is 250. So that means we're up to 1,500 if I was to summon, correct? So that means essentially it's 500 gems to try to get a UR, right? And if I don't get it, it would mean I will get 10 shards of the Black Rose from the shop. So definitely I don't think it's worth the gamble, because essentially it is the gamble. It is gambling. So as you can see, these are all the units that I got going on here. You can feel free to pause anytime to look at it, to see if this is something you'll be interested in terms of making this your main account. I have essentially every UR unit in this game, with the exception, I believe, of a couple. Obviously, Niv and Sakura are not on here, but then again, I didn't attempt to get them. And to be honest, I realized Niv is actually quite good, but she seems to be very good in certain situations, right? Like, she doesn't do a whole lot of damage. I mean, she's definitely more of a supporting unit. And the fact that she relies on evasion, the tower is very challenging to the point where a unit like her perhaps won't even, well, I don't know, I shouldn't say that because I haven't actually used her in the tower. She may be actually quite good because of all those buff removals, and you don't really need to see the rest, I suppose. But I have all the units that I think are like very, very good for making a main account, and here you have right here. Essentially all the better units that I feel like will make this account really, really powerful in the future. And bear in mind, this is a free-to-play account, no money spent at all, and I think it's a pretty solid account. But in terms of a tower, like I said, it's very challenging, it's very time consuming, and grinding it out with 2 accounts is just, it's not really worth it to me anymore, because I realize even the equipment that I get, if I have no use for it, right? Like for example, the tire ring. Like, I have it, but the thing is, I don't even use it because I don't have my Elder up yet. And so there's a lot of situations going on that is about micromanaging your account for the long haul. And honestly, like going forward in the future of my channel, like I love this game to death, but I think concentrating on my main channel with 90% of my time, I think makes more sense, and I can allocate 10% of my time to playing this free-to-play account. A lot of encounters, if I can just go ahead and conquer it without having to jump on the free-to-play account, it makes no sense for me to conquer that, right? And I think even if I was to give this account away, say half a year down the road, it will still be powerful enough for a lot of perhaps other players to thoroughly enjoy this account. So either way, I don't think it's at a loss. Plus, I'll be constantly logging in to get the shards and more free gems, and maybe just do a few events here and there, just grab some extra bonuses. But definitely no more raids, no more like any of the harder content, because it's very time consuming. Like I said, I have been working a little bit more. And another thing is, I have started playing Final Fantasy 14. I think it so far is a pretty good game. I think I'm going to start maybe uploading some of my videos of my first few play sessions soon here. And maybe sometimes in the future, I will maybe just kind of test out streaming to see if people are receptive of it. Maybe I'll actually even stream tonight for an hour or two, just to see if people are willing to kind of watch me play Final Fantasy 14. Either way, I think these are healthy changes that I'm going to be making for the channel. Also, there's a possibility that I might hit 1,000 subscribers soon. And of course, I will definitely apply for the monetization. And I realized, calculating the numbers, I don't think I'll be making a whole bunch of money, but whatever income I do generate from this channel, I will be using it on my main account to buy more packs, because I think most people like to see me show off more units in this game. And that was the biggest reason why I had 2 accounts. Like, I will have the luxury to show off some of the lower rarity units, which at that time used the rainbow fragments of thoughts on this free play account to kind of show it to people. But one thing I noticed is that people don't enjoy watching review videos of units if they're not being in hand, so to speak, right? Like, if I don't have access to those units, it's kind of a bogus review. Like, anybody could just go on and read on paper what they think, how good this unit will play out. But in actuality, if you don't bring it out into the actual combat situations, you're not really getting a full review. And so I feel like it didn't really feel like too comfortable reviewing some of those units. But there's a possibility I might go back and start reviewing older units to see how they're doing in terms of current meta situations and or current content situations. I think that makes a lot more sense going forward rather than reviewing all the new units. Because to be quite honest, there is no bad unit in this game. And I think a lot of folks are seeing that. So therefore, it's important to understand you don't really need to think about whether or not you should build a unit. It's more like you need to think about why you're building a unit on your account only. Do not worry about what the other people are doing. Building the unit on your account to see if it caters your playing style makes way more sense, regardless of what content creators are putting their 2 cents in on those specific units. So I think that's the healthiest way to look at this game in approaching perhaps the EX Shop 25 quests, and of course going much forward down the future. Okay, so I think that's all the time I have for this video. I want to thank y'all for the continued support, and I want to thank y'all for the time and the effort that you guys are putting in to support this channel. Until next time, take care of yourself and all your loved ones, and may all your summons be much better than mine. Peace.